All right, so let's try this again. So yeah, let me just try this. It was kind of sideways and blah 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 blah. But this is I'm trying to get my presentation sorted for next month at Sean Finter's Mastermind, the Outliers Mastermind, and so I wanted to practice the speech a little bit and share with you kind of where my thoughts are as far as reputation management and what is missing in the current bar the restaurant scene and why. Frankly, most go out of business. So here goes. So here's the second take of my presentation. I would love to get your feedback and so you can help me understand what I'm good at, what I suck at. And this is going to be presenting in front of about 100 people. And I'm excited to share this because this is kind of my life's work. So the title is why independent restaurants must embrace loyalty, feedback, and retention systems, or risk becoming a statistic. So 60% of restaurants will fail within the first year. 80% don't make it in a 5-year time horizon. So these aren't just numbers. They are lives. These are communities. People who've poured their hearts, their savings, and their dreams into a business only to see it crumble in front of them and not know why, not understand how it happened. You work 18 hours a day and you have your life savings on the line. You have your family's life savings on the line. So these are the stakes. So it's easy to think that this won't happen to you, that you're different. But the truth is the ones who survive don't do it by luck. They survive because they evolve, they adapt, they build systems, not systems that make them look like a corporate machine, but systems that protect their authenticity while creating a sustainable and thriving business. Today, I'm going to talk about the 3 simple but profound systems that can make or break your business: loyalty, feedback, and retention. These systems, when used well, can do more than just boost your bottom line. They can secure your future and the future of the people that work for you, the people that work with you, and the community around you, the farmers, your staff members, your cooks, your line. So if you don't have them in place, you're not just missing out on growth. You're on the fast track to failure. You're going to be one of those 60% that fail in the first year. So people don't buy products. They buy relationships. They buy connection. So the loyalty isn't just about points. It's about connection. So when we feel valued, we return to places where we're acknowledged, where we were appreciated. Look at how Starbucks mastered this. So Starbucks Rewards generates nearly 40% of their total revenue. That's not because people love paying $5 for coffee or that it's just that convenient. It's because they feel like they're part of something, that they feel known, they feel seen. It's personal, it's tangible, and it's theirs. You may not know the name of the barista, but you definitely know what your routine is and why you like coming back. So you might be thinking, I don't want to be Starbucks. My customers know me. They don't need a fancy app. But here's the truth. Loyalty is not just for corporate chains. It's for anybody who wants to build lasting relationships with their guests. Independent restaurants are uniquely positioned to win at this. Why? Because you already have that authentic connection. So I worked with small restaurants I worked with a small restaurant that prided itself on a sense of community. But as the owner said, we're losing people. We're losing connection. And they implemented a simple loyalty program. Every guest who signed up got a free drink every 5th visit, a free dessert. And every fifth visit, they got a free dessert. So within 3 months, not only were people coming back more often, but the guests started bringing their friends back too. Their loyalty system didn't just save their business, it grew it. So loyalty, a key statistic is that loyalty members spend 18% more per visit and are 50% more likely to refer a friend. If you're not actively building loyalty, you're not just missing out on revenue, you're missing out on relationships. Most restaurant owners believe they understand their customers, but here's the problem. What your customers want is often different from what you think they want. And without feedback, without any way to capture and act on real-time insights, you're flying completely blind. You're missing out on opportunities for improvement that could save your business from bad reviews, from lost guests, and from ultimately going out of business. I once worked with a restaurant that had everything. Great food, fantastic atmosphere, yet the reviews were plummeting. So when we dug deeper, we found that the problem wasn't the food or the service, It was the music. Something as simple as the music volume was driving people away. But the owner had no idea because they weren't listening and capturing feedback. Once we set up a feedback system, the issue was resolved within weeks and the reviews shot up by 2 full stars. Imagine if they'd never known. Imagine how many guests they would have lost forever. So why feedback is non-negotiable. So without feedback, you can't adapt. And in a world where 90% of consumers read online reviews before visiting a restaurant, your survival hinges on knowing what your guests think. Feedback isn't optional, it's essential. Restaurants that use feedback systems see double the repeat business. And here's why. So when you fix a problem, you're not only saving that guest, but you're earning their loyalty for life. There's a reason why a 1-star increase on Yelp or Google can lead to a 5 to 9% increase in revenue. It's because people trust reviews more than they trust your marketing. But here's the danger. Negative reviews don't always reflect the reality of your business. They reflect unsolved guest experiences. And so if you don't have that system in place to capture and respond to feedback, you're leaving your reputation in the hands of others. I once worked with a restaurant where the food was incredible, but their Google reviews were sinking. Why? Because they weren't managing their reputation. Guests who had minor issues, things that could have been fixed easily, were leaving negative reviews. All because nobody was following up. No one was closing the loop. By setting a reputation management system that allowed them to capture feedback before it went public, they were able to turn the tide. So today they have an average of 4.8 stars and their revenue increased by 12%. Your reputation takes years to build, but can be destroyed in a single review. So if you don't have a system in place to protect it, you're risking everything. You're risking your future. Those 90% of people are going to see a negative impression, and they're going to make a decision to not go see you. So more than 90% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. If you're not managing that, you're not managing your business. Here's the truth. It costs 5 to 10 times more to acquire a new customer than it takes to keep an existing one. Yet most restaurants spend their time and money trying to attract new guests, while their loyal customers, the ones who are already sold on their experience, are being ignored. This is not just a missed opportunity, it's a massive loss of potential revenue. So I consulted with an independent restaurant that was always busy on weekends but struggled during the week. We implemented a simple retention system that targeted their best customers, those who came in at least twice a month, and offered them a midweek deal. Within 3 months, they saw a 20% increase in weekday revenue. The guests were already loyal, but the restaurant had never tapped into that loyalty. Increased customer retention by just 5% can lead to a 25 to 95% increase in profits. Profits, not gross revenue, profits. Retention is the easiest, most reliable way to get you to grow your revenue, yet most restaurants overlook this entirely. Like, you ever seen the restaurant that just posts on Instagram all the time and wonders why the room is empty? That's because they're not focusing on the people that are already in the dining room. So if you're not evolving, you're dying. The grim reality is if you don't have these systems in place, if you're not actively building loyalty, gathering feedback and managing your reputation and retaining your best customers, you are on the path to failure. Not because you don't have a great food or because you don't care about your guests, but because in this industry, effort alone isn't rewarded. I've seen too many great restaurants close their doors because they didn't have the systems to support their growth. One restaurant in particular was beloved by its community. People loved the food, the vibe. People loved everything about it. But the owner didn't think he needed a loyalty program. He didn't think that he needed to ask for feedback or manage reviews. 3 years later, he was forced to shut down because you're only cool and you're only new once. Why? Because new restaurants were offering loyalty rewards. They were capturing feedback and improving their guest experience and reputation based on what their customers were telling him. He wasn't, this guy wasn't, and he paid the price, and he's now closed. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to become another statistic. You can implement these systems today. All right, and that's pretty much where I got right now. All right, so I'd love to hear your feedback. Give me a shout. Let me know what you liked, what stuck with you.